lesson on shapes, organic and geometric, and how they're everywhere around us in the world and how students will be able to pick them out and find them. And I think this lesson would be appropriate for maybe 3rd or 4th grade, just kind of depending on how well their idea with abstract colors are. So first I would introduce to the students the difference between organic and geometric shapes. Geometric are the circles, triangles, rectangles, squares, and ovals, all the ones that we give names to that you're more common with. And our organic ones are like this spiral here, this kind of wavy looking bowling pin one, this raindrop looking one. Those are the more organic, and they're called that because they're seen more in nature. So, but if you look everywhere around you, you can see shapes everywhere. On this cabinet, it's a rectangle. Here, it's a rectangle. This is a circle. It's everywhere you look, you will see different shapes. So the idea of this lesson is going to be, you're going to cut out different shapes for the students, all kinds of different ones, different organic and geometric, different sizes. And the most important part of this lesson is there's not a big emphasis on color so much as what the shapes can create, because as you know, when you sketch or draw or create a piece of work, you start out with basic shapes. That's what you're starting out with, and the color can come in later. So this kind of gives the students an idea to think about shapes and how they relate to each other and can create the different things without actually pulling in color. So what you can do is you'll cut out all the different shapes for the students, make sure they understand the difference between geometric and organic, which that could be the emphasis of your lesson, or it may not be. But you just want to emphasize this is about their imagination and their creativity and really doing what they want to do with the shapes. So you could start out with a circle, and I could see that, and then I have these little white triangles here, and I might put one here all the way around like this, and in my mind, that's creating a sun. Now, these aren't the stereotypical yellow and orange that you think of when you think of drawing and creating a sun, but you're going to just take your paper and start out with something completely that's all your own. So you have the starting of a sun. But maybe looking at all your different shapes, you don't want to do a sun. Maybe you take this bowling pin looking thing, and you can turn it different ways and get an idea of what it might be. Like that right there, just looking at it like that, reminds me of a drop of paint dripping down. That's what I see when I look at it. But maybe you turn it to the side, and that looks like an alligator head to you. And you could take these pieces and go, ooh, that could be teeth for the alligator. That could be really cool. And maybe for the alligator you want an eye, so you take a circle and you put it right there. What you can do, I want you to try to create a scene, or maybe just one object or several objects that really spark your imagination and creativity. So when you get to your table, you're going to have all these different shapes cut out. And I want you to just really take your creativity and just run with it. So, and don't feel limited by the colors. The colors are not what's important here. What's important is the idea of shapes. Think about all the different things that you see everywhere that you can really integrate shapes with. So another, for instance, might be you have a rectangle, you put it this way, and I have a triangle here. If I put that on top, that to me is a house. But what might be a house to me, you might turn it sideways and say, no, I see an arrow. It's all about interpretation. That's what art is all about, and that's the important part of this lesson. So you can really take it in all different directions. These purple raindrops, it could be rain. You can have them going sideways, kind of down like this, diagonal. Or you might take, I don't know, this oval, and you might say, no, I see a flower. These are flower petals to me. I see a flower. And this isn't an alligator head. When I looked at it, I saw a stem for the flower. You can just run with it. Just make it all your own and try to really hone in on the types of shapes that you see. So At this point, you would let the students go to the table and see the different shapes, and you could either let them do them individually, or you could have them work in pairs, which might spark some more creativity for them. But if you really want to get a sense of where they're coming from and how they are with their shapes and their knowledge of shapes and how they kind of go together to create different things, I think doing it individually would be best.